Hello everybody, and welcome to this quick unscripted review of the Jacobvale Arc, which is right here. I'm in the park in Denmark enjoying the slightly cold weather, and this is the bad boy I'm going to want to talk about. Jacobvale is a brand new brand. They have a Kickstarter coming in March, so it's actually still not live as we speak, but I got this prototype. And it's quite lovely, so I'm going to talk about it, and hopefully that will help you make your decision whether you want to support the campaign or pre-order them later when they come in. Let's get going with this bad boy. And as you can probably tell, there's some inspiration from, famous watches like the Royal Oak and the Nautilus. They're quite in sport watches, like those are really the most hyped, also quite expensive. And even though they've taken inspiration from these watches, I feel like they've made their own identity with this watch. We've got the 12 sides here on the bezel. I think the Royal Oak has 8. I know the Royal Oak has 8, and so they've gone kind of a different way like that. The bracelet can kind of remind you of the Nautilus bracelet without the polished elements, of course. And they've also taken that striped engraved dial that you see on the Nautilus to heart, and well, that's pretty much where the similarities end, I would say. I think they've managed to do a pretty good design. Now, if we look at the specs, it's a 43.5 millimeter watch, so it's rather big, rather heavy. It's not a small watch at all. I will have a wrist shot later, so you can tell on my 17 centimeters wrist. But yeah, it's mostly brushed, finished with a lot of beveled edges. Especially here, there's one here that slims out towards the crown guards. The crown guards do have beveled edges too, polished, of course. And yeah, the overall look is very aggressive. They haven't spared any details. It is worth mentioning they will upgrade the bracelet finishing. This is just a prototype, so everything you see on this watch, it will be better in the production model. But to be completely honest, I'm quite happy with this one as it stands, especially considering the price. But yeah, the finishing is pretty fine, the brushed finish. So you don't see the lines that much. It's pretty easy to see on camera, but it does have that dull effect, which is not bad. It's just the way they chose to do it, I suppose. Everything is brushed on the dial. So the markers, our hands, is brushed, and I really have to congratulate them for using a date wheel with the same color as the dial. That is just perfect. I hate those big white date wheels, black on white. They just stick out, and they've actually used the exact same color, so the match is good. Speaking of color, this is their midnight blue, which is kind of like a blue with a greenish hue. Probably can't tell right now, but in certain lights it kind of pops. And yeah, they've done it pretty well. If I zoom in here, you can probably see there's some cool details. The logo is applied, and it's got that middle bar that's kind of gold colored. The second hand is taken away, as you can see, and it has that kind of same cut at the edges like the logo, which is done on purpose, of course. And then you have the R markers, which have this little incline towards the center, which is also lovely. It kind of gives that like a effect, like there is a circle when the light hits those angles, which is kind of cool. Yeah, you can probably tell there. And yeah, the loom is very well applied. It's the BWG9, very well applied. I do have loom shots on my written review on the blog, hypeandstyle.fr. So yeah, a lot of attention to detail, well applied loom. My favorite loom, of course, the BWG9. Crown as well. Very good grip. Nicely, deeply engraved logo here. Everything looks up to specs. There's even, you can actually see now there's a little engraved line in the bezel, just to kind of give a little extra panache to the watch. And the threading of the crown is it's kind of grainy at this price range. I'm not surprised, but it is even and very, very easy to unscrew and change the date and time. And yeah, it's pretty cool looking here. If we look at the back, we've got a display case back with the Miyota 9015, which is a no date, bullshit. It's a date movement from Miyota. It's an upgraded version from their previous, I think 1817, if I remember correctly, from 2009. And quite a workhorse movement that a lot of people like. I know Mark & Sons uses them. Speaking of, wrist check. This is my next review. They have certain models with that Miyota movement. And they've got this kind of gold-plated custom rotor, which is nice. Screwed in case back. And it says Arc Royale, which is it's almost too similar to the Royal Oak. And the owner knows this. And it will only be written Arc on the new one. And it was actually not in reference to the Royal Oak, but to a ship, I believe. So it won't say Arc Royale on the finished production model. So there we go. Yeah, I mean, the Miyota is quite a good movement, and again, if you wanted an ETA in it, the price would go up, and I feel like they're the same quality anyway, so at this point I'm not gonna complain. But overall, very well built watch. I mean, the date, look, it's just perfectly centered, which you don't see in a lot of, I mean, I've had micro brand watches for more than this, and the date is a little off, and here it's just perfectly centered in that nice what do you call it, aperture. The bracelet is what you would expect. Very fluid. You know, let's see if we can get a shot like this. Not a lot of play. Very fluid, very comfortable, and the deploying clasp is a quite good one. Not a lot of play in the buttons here. I don't know if I close it, we can tell. Look, well, one hand. So you close this, and you've got the overlapping logo here, which is going to come on like that. So it's pretty subtle, well finished. It's got those beveled polished edges we want to see, and yeah, quite comfortable. I'm gonna pop this on the wrist so we can see how it looks. So here we go. It's fitting my 17 centimeter wrists pretty well, I would say. It's quite aggressive. You have to kind of size it. There's no medium links on this, so you kind of have to find the right size. And it does not come with a leather strap, so you know, it's pretty big for my wrist, but I can pull it off, and it sits pretty well, and the crown doesn't really touch my skin that much. Let me just pop it down again. So yeah, it's manly, aggressive, well built, cool applied logo and details, and I guess kind of everything you want from a watch in this price range with this look. And I can compare them to D1 Milano, and they're doing quite well. And I'd say they have more details on this watch than D1 Milano. So there's no reason Jacobvale shouldn't succeed, in my opinion. And yeah, I'd say you get a little more bang for your buck than D1 Milano. Even though I still like that brand a lot. They do have a lot of models and variations. So yeah, there we go. Hope you enjoyed the review. It's unscripted, improvised. If I forgot anything, just let me know in the comments, or go read the written review on hypeandstyle.fr. Please like and comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of these honest, unscripted reviews. All right, have a good day.